So if you've been feeling tired around someone for no reason, if your jokes always land flat, or if you keep apologizing for things you didn't do, don't ask, do they like me? Ask instead, why am I trying so hard to be liked by someone who makes me feel small? That one question changes everything, because the real betrayal isn't their hidden hate, it's the part of you that decided to ignore it. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Have you ever left a conversation with a close friend, a coworker, or a family member, and felt strangely tired? Not physically tired, mentally drained, as if you just performed a 2-hour play where the audience forgot to clap. You couldn't put your finger on it. Nothing bad was said. No fight happened, but something felt off. That feeling is not nothing. That feeling is a signal. And most people spend years ignoring it, until one day the person is gone, or you are, and you finally admit to yourself, they never liked me. I just didn't want to see it. You're here because you suspect someone close to you secretly hates you, but you don't want to believe it, so your mind makes excuses. They're just stressed at work. That's just their personality. I'm being too sensitive. Here is the problem. Ignoring these signs doesn't protect the relationship. It slowly poisons your self-trust. Every time you ignore a cold look, you teach yourself that your feelings don't matter. Every time you laugh off a mean joke, you train your brain to accept less than kindness. By the end of this video, you won't just know the signs. You will understand why you've been trained to look away, and once you see that, you cannot unsee it. Let's walk through this slowly, together. Let's start with the second most shocking sign first, because I need your full attention. Sign number 1. They smile at you, but their eyes stay cold. Psychologists call this non-verbal leakage. The face says, friend, but the eyes say, waiting for you to finish speaking. Here is the context. A real smile uses 2 sets of muscles, the mouth muscles and the tiny muscles around your eyes. That's why real smiles create little wrinkles, sometimes called crow's feet. A fake smile only uses the mouth. The eyes remain still, flat, like a doll's eyes. Think of a situation you've actually lived. You walk into a room. You just got a small promotion. Nothing huge, but you're proud. You tell this person. Their mouth goes up, but their eyes, nothing. No spark, no warmth. They might even say, good for you, but the voice is flat. Then they turn away, not slowly, quickly, as if the performance is over. That is not shyness. That is relief. Relief that they don't have to pretend anymore. Next time you share something personal with this person, pause for 1 second after they respond. Watch their eyes. Do the eyes soften? Do they stay on your face with a gentle look? Or do they immediately drift to the window, to their phone, to the door? If they look away within 2 seconds, that is not distraction. That is discomfort. Your presence makes them uncomfortable, not because you did anything wrong, because they have feelings about you that they refuse to admit. Let me give you a second practical situation. You're at a family dinner. Someone tells a story that embarrasses you slightly. Watch this person's eyes. Do they look concerned, or do they look entertained? Carl Jung said, "The shadow is what you refuse to see in yourself." Their cold eyes are the shadow of their hidden resentment. You have been looking at their words. Start looking at their eyes. Words are easy. Eyes are honest. Why does this matter to your life right now? Because you have been using conversation to measure love. But hate never lives in words. Hate lives in what the body says while the mouth lies. A person can say, "I love you," 100 times. If their eyes look past you when you speak, those words are just noise. You are not crazy. You are just finally paying attention. Now the most important sign, the one that will change how you hear every future conversation. Sign number 2. They secretly enjoy your small failures, not your big failures. Big failures make them uncomfortable because big failures might mean you need real help. But small failures? You spill coffee on your shirt before a meeting. You forget a name in a conversation. You get mildly criticized by your boss. Watch their face carefully. Do they hide a tiny smile? Do they say, "Oh no," in a voice that sounds a little too relaxed? Do they offer help a little too slowly? Here is the context. Research on schadenfreude, that's the German word for joy at another person's pain, shows that people who secretly resent you cannot hide their relief when you stumble. Why? Because your small failure makes their hidden hate feel justified. In their mind, they think, "See, they're not so perfect. They make mistakes too. I don't have to feel bad about disliking them." Your failure becomes their permission slip. Let me give you a real-life example. Imagine you're at a party. You try to open a bottle and it spills a little. You say, "Oh, I'm so clumsy." A real friend will say, "Don't worry, happens to everyone," and help you clean it up. But the person who secretly hates you, they will say nothing for a moment. Then they will say, "Yeah, you've always been a little clumsy, haven't you?" And they will look around to see if others heard. They are not helping. They are collecting. Another situation, you're in a group chat. You share something you're nervous about. A presentation, a date, a medical test. A real friend says, "You've got this." The hidden hater says nothing, or they say, "Well, let's hope it goes better than last time." That last time is their trophy. They have been storing your small failures like a savings account, and they withdraw a little every time they want to feel better about themselves. Think of one person in your life right now. Remember a specific time you made a harmless mistake in front of them. Did they comfort you quickly and then move on? Or did they repeat the story later? Remember when you forgot your own password? Remember when you tripped on the sidewalk? If they repeat your small failures as jokes, they are not joking. They are feeding. Nietzsche wrote, "Love is not the opposite of hate. Vanity is." They don't hate you because you're bad. They hate you because your existence reminds them of what they lack. Your small failure is their tiny victory. Watch for the smile that comes too fast after your bad luck. Why does this matter today? Because you have probably been laughing along with these jokes. You've been shrinking yourself to keep the peace. But every time you laugh at their hidden cruelty, you lose a little bit of self-respect. Stop laughing. Stop helping them hide their hate. Just notice it. That's enough. Sign number 3. They constantly correct how you remember things. That's not what happened. You're exaggerating. I never said that. You always make yourself the victim. This is not about being right. This is not about having a better memory. This is about control. Here is the context. When someone secretly hates you, they cannot let you trust your own mind. Why? Because a person who trusts their own mind will eventually leave them. If you believe your own memories, you will realize how often they have been unkind, so they must make you doubt yourself. This is a quiet form of gaslighting. It is slow, it is gentle, and it works. Let me give you a practical situation. You and this person had a conversation last week. You remember them saying, "I don't have time to help you move." Fine, no problem. A week later, you mention it. "No worries about the move. I found someone else." And they say, "What are you talking about?" "I never said I wouldn't help. I said I'd try to make time. You always twist my words." Do you feel that? That little drop in your stomach? That is confusion. They have just rewritten history. And if this happens often enough, you will start to believe them. You will start to think, maybe I do twist things. Maybe I am too sensitive. Another situation. You're remembering a happy memory. Remember that trip to the beach 2 years ago? It was so sunny. They say, "It wasn't sunny. It rained half the time, and you complained the whole way. Now the happy memory is gone, replaced by their version. You feel small, you feel wrong, and they feel powerful. That is the goal. Next time you tell a shared memory, say it calmly and simply. Remember that day at the park? If they immediately correct you, it wasn't a park, it was a garden, and you were late, and you didn't even care. Pause. Take a breath. Do not argue. Just say, "That's interesting. I remember it differently." Then change the subject. You do not need to win the memory war. You just need to stop losing yourself in it. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When someone tries to rewrite your memories, they are not helping you. They are slowly erasing your reality so that only their version survives. That is not friendship. That is a quiet war. And the only way to win is to stop fighting. Just observe. That's interesting. I remember it differently. That sentence is a shield. Sign number 4. This one is the easiest to miss because it feels like you. After you spend time with them, you feel tired. Not the good tired of a deep conversation or a workout. The tired of having to perform. You think, "I'm just an introvert," or "I've been sleeping badly." But here is the truth. Your nervous system knows before your brain does. Your body is honest even when your mind is still making excuses. Here is the context. Research in emotional contagion shows that we unconsciously absorb the emotional state of people close to us. If someone is genuinely happy, you feel a little happier. If someone is anxious, you feel a little more anxious. And if someone secretly resents you, their body is sending tiny signals of tension, boredom, or contempt all the time. Not big signals, tiny ones. A slight tightening of the jaw, a half-second sigh, a small roll of the eyes when you turn away. Your body works hard to ignore these signals. That work exhausts you. You are not tired because of them. You are tired because of the effort it takes to pretend they like you. Let me give you a practical situation. You have a lunch with this person for 1 hour. Nothing bad happens. You talk about work, about the weather, about a show you both watch. You leave. And for the rest of the day you feel heavy. You don't want to do anything. You lie on the couch scrolling your phone. You think you're lazy, but you're not lazy. You're depleted. You spent an hour managing their hidden emotions, smiling when you didn't feel like it, laughing at jokes that weren't funny, watching your words so you didn't accidentally upset them. That is not a conversation. That is a job, and you don't get paid. Another situation. Compare 2 people in your life. Person A. You spend 2 hours with them. You leave feeling light, maybe even inspired. You think, "I should see them more often." Person B. You spend 30 minutes with them. You leave feeling like you need a nap. That difference is not random. That is your nervous system giving you a report. Person A adds to your energy. Person B subtracts from it, and subtraction over time becomes exhaustion, then resentment, then numbness. Do a simple test. For 1 week, write down your energy level 1 hour after seeing this person. Use a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is completely drained. 10 is full of energy. Then write down your energy level 1 hour after seeing someone who clearly enjoys you. Someone who laughs easily, listens well, doesn't correct your memories. Compare the numbers at the end of the week. If the difference is more than 3 points, your body is telling you something your heart refuses to hear. Stop arguing with your body. Your body is not lying. Jung said, "The meeting of 2 personalities is like the contact of 2 chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." If you leave feeling smaller, more confused, more tired, that is a reaction, that is data. You do not need to accuse them. You do not need to prove anything. You just need to stop calling it just how they are. Call it what it is. A slow subtraction from your life. Final sign. Number 5. They laugh at your jokes a half-second too late, or they laugh too loud, or they don't laugh at all, then force a laugh when they see you notice. This sounds small, this sounds like nothing, but it is not nothing. It is a crack in the mask. Here is the context. Laughter is a social bonding tool that happens unconsciously. When two people genuinely like each other, laughter is instant. You don't think, should I laugh? You just laugh. It's automatic, like blinking. When there is hidden hate, the brain has to calculate. Should I laugh? How much? Will they believe me? If I don't laugh, will they notice? That calculation takes time. That tiny delay, less than a second but noticeable, is the crack. That is the mask slipping. Let me give you a practical situation. You're at a dinner table. You tell a short, silly joke. Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts. A real friend laughs immediately. Maybe they groan. But the reaction is instant. The person who secretly hates you. They pause. Their face stays still for just a moment. Then they smile. Then they laugh. But the laugh sounds different. It's higher, or louder, or shorter. And sometimes they touch your arm when they laugh. Why? Because they know the laugh came too late. So they add extra signals. A touch, a head tilt, a "that's so you," to cover the lie. Another situation. You say something slightly sarcastic. Not mean, just playful. "Oh sure, because you're never late." A real friend laughs and says, "Okay, fair." The hidden hater pauses. Then they say, "Wow, harsh." But they say it with a smile. You feel confused. Were you harsh? No. They just needed you to feel a little bad. That pause was their brain calculating how to punish you without looking like the bad guy. Next time you're in a relaxed setting with this person, tell a completely harmless joke. Something silly. Watch their face carefully. Do not look at their mouth. Look at their eyes and their eyebrows. Real laughter makes the eyebrows move slightly up and together. Fake laughter leaves the eyebrows still. Count the seconds between your joke and their response. If it's more than 1.5 seconds, that is calculation, not connection. This is not about becoming paranoid. This is about becoming awake. Nietzsche said, "In individuals, insanity is rare, but in groups, parties, nations, and eras, it is the rule." The group around you, your family, your friends, your co-workers, has probably normalized this person's behavior. That's just how they are. Don't be so sensitive. They don't mean it. But you are not a group. You are one person. And one person's honest observation is worth more than 10 people's comfortable excuses. So now you know the 5 signs. Cold eyes, joy at your small failures, rewriting your memories, draining your energy, laughing too late. But here is the question your mind has been holding since the first minute. The question I promise to answer. If they secretly hate me, why do they stay close? Why not just leave? Because secret hate is not the same as wanting you gone. Secret hate is wanting you near, but smaller, weaker, more doubtful, more apologetic. They stay because your presence gives them someone to feel better than. If you left, they would have to sit alone with themselves. And that is the one thing hidden hate cannot survive. Being alone with their own emptiness. You are not their friend. You are their mirror. And they hate the mirror, but they cannot break it. So they fog it up instead. With cold looks, with fake laughs, with small corrections, with exhaustion. Here is what you came for. The shift in perception. You have been asking, do they secretly hate me? That is the wrong question. The right question is, why have I been willing to feel small just to keep them comfortable? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone despises me, that is their problem. My own opinion of myself is my only concern." You do not need to confront them. You do not need a dramatic scene. You do not need to collect evidence and present it like a lawyer. You just need to stop pretending that your exhaustion is normal. You just need to stop laughing at jokes that hurt. You just need to stop correcting your own memories to match theirs. You are not crazy. You are not too sensitive. You are not imagining things. You have been feeling the truth for months, maybe years. The only thing left is to trust that feeling, not to fight, not to accuse, just to trust, and to quietly, slowly, spend less time with people who make you feel small. That is not revenge. That is self-respect. If this video made you feel seen, do not subscribe because I asked. Subscribe because your peace matters more than their approval. And watch the next video, how to quietly distance yourself without a single argument. Because leaving does not have to be loud, it just has to be honest. You have already done the hard part. You felt the truth. Now protect it. That is not selfish. That is the beginning of being free.